we go. 450 time. This is this is getting good.
This is a big turning point going east.
This is a huge turning point. So let's just start with the winner here. Let's just start with Webb. Matt is a Hornet, baby.
Start with that ride.
Matt is a Hornet.
Let's go back to practice.
Look good. Fastest in Q1.
He everybody wants to shit on him for the whoops thing.
Look better.
This is what separates him from all the rest of the guys. He knew what needed to be worked on. They worked on it, and I see an improvement.
Do you know why he improved? Did you hear what he did during the week?
What did he do? Just do whoops all day?
No. They brought Baggett in.
Oh, really?
They took Baggett to the KTM track. In fact, Baggett at the press conference thanked them for letting him come ride with Coop this week. But they brought him in so that they could use his settings and help and kind of play back and forth off each other.
That's interesting too, because he was talking about the whoops a long time ago. Webb was, and it was like on the Red Bull Moto Spy or whatever. There's a lot of good inside stuff on there.
Yep.
And he was talking to his mechanic. He was like, "Hey, do you guys got Baggett setting?"
Yeah.
And they just went and grabbed it out of the notebook or whatever, and they were trying to figure it out. But no, I think that's good that they let Baggett ride at the track finally. I think Webb has been kind of, somebody mentioned it in the comments, and it really made me start thinking he's kind of missing that push at the track. I don't know if Wacko Zacko is giving him the push he needs compared to somebody like Marv.
That's a whole different story.
But I think Baggett is a guy that can push him. There's speed there. There's whoop speed.
Well, did you heard DeCoster ask him, like, are you going to fight for this title, or are we just wasting our time?
Yeah. Well, I think that was kind of they knew how he operates.
Yes, they do.
Fuel to the fire kind of thing.
Yes, they do.
No, everybody wants to be like, oh, he's a pussy. He can't skim the whoops. Can't skim the whoops. Well, deal with the cards you're dealt, man. And he made them work. He made it work in practice. He proved he was fast by skimming them.
Yep.
But when the main came, he was even better at jumping them. And I tell you what, boys, we're going east, and those whoops are going to be the same way. You better watch out.
Yes, they are. I mean,
I do truly believe that skimming is faster if you can find a line.
Yep.
I don't think that's consistent. But Baggett, he skims the whoops every lap. Good.
He made a lot of time on AC though, jumping through them.
Yeah, he did.
Jumping through them.
But Baggett was still going a little faster.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Baggett was flying.
Lots to talk about Webb's ride. We can talk about going into the main. When I saw that second place start,
oh my God.
I was like, I knew as soon as AC was out front and Webb was in second, it was over. Webb was winning that race because Webb has the IQ. Webb, I'm sure, has the fitness. I will give credit to AC. He lasted a lot longer, and the intensity was there a lot longer than I expected, which was a good sign.
Yes, it was. Yep.
But like, even when they were talking about when they started playing cat and mouse and stuff, Webb knew Baggett was behind him, and Webb knew if they kept doing that kind of stuff, Baggett was going to catch up. So he made it happen, and he was gone. Like,
did you hear on the stuff you listened to? I think it was
Webb was yelling at him.
Going into that corner before the finish.
Yeah.
Go!
Yeah.
When they started playing that cat and mouse game, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. I think they talked about it in the press conference.
Yes, that's what it was. Yep. So
I haven't watched it yet.
Dude, he is 9 points down. Going east here.
Yeah, and he did it at the perfect round with Roxon and Tomac having their issues.
Yes.
I wouldn't say issues. That's just what a bad start does in this class.
At this point, this isn't the 90s, early 2000s anymore, where those guys can start 10.
We'll get into that in a second. I'm a little frustrated with Roxon on that deal.
Well, yeah. But continuing on with the Webb thing. My stock just rose high in him repeating this title.
I told that. That's what I said, man.
I wasn't as convinced here because we did decent at the opening round, and then the second round was a real fall off, and then we've kind of been okay-ish but not great. And like last week we saw a sign of life, but it was still kind of like, well, he hasn't really won yet. And I will say, at the beginning of the race, probably the first 5 minutes, I wasn't completely convinced Webb was going to win. I didn't think AC was going to win either. It was more of a let's watch Kenny and I was a let's watch Kenny and Tomac come through, because Kenny's heat race was fucking incredible. Dude, he put 12 seconds on those guys in a 5-minute heat race. That was unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable. And then he got in the main and was just flat, which we'll get into.
And I think he had a little Tomac syndrome.
Yeah.
Kind of settled in.
Yeah.
And maybe we can talk about Barsha being Barsha, maybe kind of spooked him a little bit. I don't know.
But as far as Webb goes, this is, I'm nervous for the rest of these guys now doing this.
Now he's got the confidence.
The thing is, though, is that we still have Tomac there. And Tomac is, I mean,
but Tomac
it wasn't good this
Tomac,
weekend,
dude.
but it wasn't good, but it was
It
fourth.
wasn't great. Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at okay.
It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. Like this is.
I was gonna say we say Tomac's Tomacking, but Tomac
he came from
Tomac the worst in the first round at a 7th.
And this is what we talked about too on I think a preview show. I brought it up. Those guys coming from the back, even though they're faster, it's still going to be a 4th, which it should be kind of a win to them.
Yeah.
I know everybody. I mean, we kind of shit on him in St. Louis. He did come from 18th to 4th.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, he is supposed to be the guy. He is supposed to be the guy that is absolutely smoking everybody. He is supposed to be the guy in A2 or wherever he got his win there.
But again, he's another one that starts slow. Yeah. And I mean, we've seen it year after year. I mean, look at those years where he won 8 races and 9 races. Mm-hmm. When we started going east, he started coming on.
Well, I think.
But yet now, and the thing is like we're going east, but he has had a better West Coast swing than he has had the last 3 years.
Well, I think Tomac, his kryptonite's going to be the whoops against Webb. Because Tomac
so
is just a.
He is a skimmer.
Bomber.
He wants to charge and pound them.
And it might not be as fast, but he's going to do it every lap, and he can't jump them. Remember, perfect example last year, chasing down Webb or whoever it was. He was trying to jump the whoops
and
crashed in the
twice.
same spot twice. It's fun, man. These guys. I'm letting the track. It's a new element that we've never really seen in the sport. Everybody's like, skim the whoops, be an American badass.
Mm-hmm.
Learn how to jump those things, dude. Let them break down at the test track. And I thought it was interesting to hear that about Cincerillo and Nick Way going out on the track after the press conference and looking at the whoops.
Yep.
So watch for AC to improve in his jumping technique through the whoops, and if he can do that, that's gonna be interesting as well. Even though he's a rookie, he's really surprising me.
He is, and I think this rookie season is going pretty much great. I know we kind of had a lull here where he was getting like some 7s and stuff, and we're kind of like, oh no, is he doing AC things? But then again, last night looked great. I mean, let's face it.
He didn't really look out of control. I mean,
No.
I saw the front end push a little bit a couple times, but
I mean, he got a good start. Webb got him immediately, and he fired right. And I mean, he fired back. There wasn't anything he about pushed Webb off the track.
Yeah.
But
that's where Webb sits back and goes, okay, show me your lines.
Yep, and that is what Webb does best, is he just sits there in the weeds and waits to pounce.
Yep.
Now with AC2, when he was leading and we got about halfway, when we got to 6 minutes to go, I went, okay, what's going to happen now? Because he's openly admitted after 15 minutes he kind of falls off. And I was actually pretty impressed that he, up till the last 2 minutes, and where he lost it was in the whoops.
And then after he got past, too, he absolutely went wick through the whoops.
Yep.
Sketchy.
Yep.
But his balls on the crossbar.
Dude, and that thing of his outer 2 fingers go numb on his one hand right now, that's gnarly too. And I like the fact that he played it up like a boss in the on the podium when they asked, and he was just like, I lost it. This was not anything to do with my hand, even though Daniel Blair said on his podcast, he did say, yeah man, dude, this fucking sucks that my fingers go numb.
We're all dealing with something.
Yep. So
she's right.
Yes.
No, I'm impressed with AC. I really didn't think that this was coming.
He's going to be in the mix. Does he
get a win, you think?
I still think he does. Yes, I still think he does. Because look at this. In what is it here now? 6 rounds, we've gone from basically where he was openly like 15 minutes, I can't do it anymore, basically, to now he went 18 minutes with it and still was there. I mean, it was just Webb's night. That was all there was to it, but was still there. So you give me another 3-4 rounds, all of a sudden he's going to have that 20 minutes locked in.
But I also want to see 2 or 3 more rounds, because his whole career, this has been the last round. He's on a break right now.
Yeah.
But now he's got to still keep charging. So I want to see how that plays out as well.
I think he'll be okay with that. Yeah. I don't know that that's.
He doping?
We don't have time to get into that. Trust me, we could do a whole podcast on my thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to talk about? We can talk about Baggett here really quick.
I thought.
Good start.
I was waiting for Baggett to drop the hammer Chupacabra style, but I guess some lappers got in the way. But
yeah,
he was coming. He started making a charge. You could see him.
Yep.
And I remember tweeting, I said, don't count Baggett out of this. Like, he was coming. I was expecting some cat and mouse stuff kind of go, but Webb handled that great.
Yep.
So
he was very much waiting in the wings to do it. From what I've heard, yes, Blows got in his way. He was not super happy with him, even though they're buddies.
Lost,
whatever, sorry. Anyway, he was not super happy, even though they're buddies, and that was pretty much what cost him getting up there and making this very, very interesting for us. Okay, so let's
So do we see this back at next week? The world may never know.
Somebody asked me that at the press conference. He goes, "That's the $1 million question. If you figure that out, dude, we'll make a bunch of money as to why I'm up and down like this."
That's what he says.
Yeah, he's like, at this point, I just sit back and ride the roller coaster. Like, I don't try to fight it anymore. So, I don't know. I mean, I think we'll see him again, good at races, and then some races we will never see him. So, okay, so let's talk about Kenny and Eli. First off, I've already touched on this. Kenny's heat race was absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Just left everybody in the dust. But him and Eli buried off that start.
And it was cool to see them working through the pack, and then Tomac kind of got a little bit of a run on him and was able to get to Barsha.
Yep.
Then they had their little cat and mouse game. And I don't know if Kenny saw that and was like, I don't feel like messing with Barsha.
You know, the thought crossed my mind here as I was rewatching the race yesterday to do the notes. You saw Eli and Barsha going back and forth at it. You then saw at the one point there, right before the first set of whoops, Kenny close up in that corner and about turn down on Barsha and go through the whoops and try to get him. But then you didn't really see Kenny do anything again.
No,
and it was almost to the point of I could almost, in my mind, I could almost see it in Kenny's mind of, shit, I've fallen out of the title in San Diego before. I mean, what was it, 2 years ago, where he got together with Webb over some dumb shit and broke his other arm all into pieces. He goes, if I sit here and take a sixth, yeah, I may lose the points lead. Yeah, I may do this. Yeah, I may do that. It's not great.
Look, not far out of it.
But I'm not far out of it, and we're going east, and I'm still racing.
Could
instead of sitting at home watching.
Yeah, could have crossed his mind. But man, as fast as he went in that heat race.
As fast as he went in that heat race, I expected him to make quicker work of everyone they were going through there.
Right.
Than
I
what
thought it was just be him and Tomac through the pack together, but Barsha put a stop to that. So and that was a sign of the Barsha that we should be seeing.
Well,
but I think, I don't care what you say, Barsha's a tick off of the speed Tomac has.
Barsha's a tick off of, yes, those top, I would say the top 4.
So what do you think of the aggressive riding? You're getting past, you're going backwards. Do you start playing that game? Or do you just let the guy go because you know you're slower?
I am kind of on the trend with Jason Thomas. Aggressive riding's okay if you're going forward. When you're going backwards, you kind of just look like a chotch.
Yeah, so if Eli was doing it, we're cool.
Yeah.
Because he's moving forward, he's the fastest guy.
Yep, and and Barsha always rides somewhat aggressively, so whatever. But
as a fan, it was sweet.
The way that was going, where it's like, okay, you're about to drop 2 more spots because you have Ken and Eli there, and let's face it, they're both faster than you, and they're going to go through you. To me, it was just like, dude, what are you doing? All you're doing is fucking them up. And it just makes you look dumb.
I liked it because Tomac, when people start doing that to him, he implodes.
Yep, but he didn't really.
I think if it would have kept going.
Well, maybe.
If it would have kept going, he would have imploded because remember the whole Dean Wilson thing?
Yep.
Pretty much ruined Dean Wilson's career, by the way. Webb at Daytona. I mean, who else has he tried taking out? And he tried taking Reed out one time, took a spoke to the wheel. Like, he's kind of imploded in those situations before. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think
it's cool as a fan.
I mean, it's fun to watch, but at the same time, it's like when you're rooting for Tomac and Kenny to get to the front there to make things more interesting to me, I'm just like, dude, what are you? It's like when they get to Vince Freeze and they can't get by him. It's just like, dude, this isn't what I want to watch. I don't want to watch you try to get around Vince Freeze. I want to watch you try to get around Justin Barsha, who's just going to finish like 4th, 5th, 6th and be irrelevant, where I could have a great battle at the front between AC, Kenny, Eli, and Webb. I just think it takes away. It is racing,
and you got to get around the guy.
Yep. So, man, I wish I'd have known the words they were having after that.
Yeah.
I heard they sat there for a while and didn't say anything to each other, and then finally Tomac started yelling at him. And I would love to know what was said.
Yeah, Tomac was being a little girl about it.
I don't know. I'd have been yelling at him.
Yeah.
He'd have been getting an earful out of me.
I mean, we're always critical about Tomac having those Tomac rides. That was a Tomac ride for Roxon.
It was.
So,
and I would like to know, did his foot start hurting? Because
there's a lot of what ifs, ands, and buts.
Yeah. I don't think
he's another guy that is supposed to be the guy.
Yep. And looked like it in the heat, but then maybe in the main the track just broke down differently than he thought. His setup was a little off.
Yeah.
And like I said, another part of me fully believes that he just saw what was happening and was just like, yeah, I'm not ending up on the ground. I'm just going to take my 6th. We're going to move on to Tampa.
Yeah.
And I'm going to, now don't get me wrong, I think that it sparks his ass a little bit, and I think we see a completely different Kenny in Tampa. But yeah, so
keep an eye on that.
That's my thoughts. Now you want to talk about some crazy riding. Did you hear about the Anderson Brayton thing?
No, I did not.
Okay, so
because I didn't know what the hell happened to Anderson.
Okay, well let me fill you in because I've been listening to Pulp and Main Event Moto here this morning, so I have most of the details on this point.
From people that were there.
Yes. So I guess what had happened was Anderson got into Brayton, and Brayton pretty much decided he had enough, and so they went into, or Anderson pushed Brayton off. Brayton missed a couple jumps, came back on, did a double, and beeline straight for the end of the corner and took Ando right the fuck out.
No way.
And then he got himself a trip to the AMA truck after that, and it basically turned into him being in the AMA truck with them saying that was completely uncalled for, and him saying, dude, what about him taking me out 2 corners before? What about the 5 other
so Brayton
times?
didn't take up with no shit.
Nope. Brayton basically said, from what I heard on these shows that he told people that were there, it was basically a situation of, I'm tired of taking his shit. He reached my breaking point with me, and so I went at him. And Brayton's one of those guys that, like, he's very calm, and he can ride like that if he has to, but he doesn't. But let's not forget, Brayton cut his teeth in arena cross.
Yep.
So he knows how to go in and bang bars with the best of them, as far as I'm concerned. And so, yeah, I don't think...
Interesting.
And let's be honest, that's an Anderson style move. Like, he hangs it out and stuff, but that's what he does. Is he's another one, kind of like Ferrandis almost, of when he passes you 90% of the time he's gonna make contact with you. And I could totally see in Brayton's defense, because Brayton is a nice guy that, like, there's a point, you reach your breaking point. And if this has happened to him, I don't remember in years past with Anderson on him.
Because Anderson was looking fast in that. He caught Baggett.
Yeah, and then blew the spokes out of his wheel. Which is a prime example of he can't pass someone without making contact, because look at what he did. He blew the spokes out of his front wheel.
Contact is not helping him right now.
No, so, and the thing is like Anderson does this trying to go to the front, but then here you go, you just damn near ruined your title chances.
Yeah, where did
here.
he even finish?
14th or something like that. He went back. He went down again, is what I heard after Brayton took him out. But yes, so yeah,
That's
so he's like 14th place finish. Oh, dude, when I heard that, I was like, oh, yes, I want to watch this all the time now.
Game on, yeah. Keep your eyes on that then.
I don't think it's something we'll see.
Anderson's a guy
that. But
Anderson's a retaliation guy too.
Yes.
He's kind of like me when I'm playing Supercross on the Xbox.
Oh, God, here we go.
So when I'm playing Xbox and somebody puts one in on me, you got one coming.
And that was what was said on both Pulp and Main Event Moto is like Brayton won't do this week in and week out, but we could definitely see Anderson show some retaliation here. Which if it gets to that point, like, again, like I've said, Brayton cut his teeth in arena cross. He can go in and take you out with the best of them, and will. I mean, and this is where you get into it with these kids that jump up to the 450 class. You're racing men and men, and Brayton is not a kid. He's a man. He's got a family. He's got kids. So he's not going to do anything stupid, but trust me, he's also not going to take any shit off you. So...
No, that's interesting.
Coming from a 30-something-year-old that races at a severely lower level than these guys, I am the same way. The 16-year-old comes in on me when I'm on the outside trying to stay out of your way for your 250C fucking 5th place finish, and you come out and rev at me, like, I'm pissed at you. And chances of me not beating your ass are very slim. Although I don't like going to jail, so that's a thing. But anyway.
I would just take her back to the rig and have a water.
Yeah, so anyway, one last thing I had here as far as 450s went. How about AP early on? Running third, keeping pace with them.
Good for him. Good for him.
I mean,
I was stoked to see that for him too, and he was running the pace.
At this point, you're pretty much just grabbing at anything you can if you're AP. I mean, he was with them. A mistake, obviously. Too much gas coming out of the corner, but other than that, I would take it as a positive. He still finished 10th going down, so that's not bad. Yep. Okay, so we are going East Coast here. I will have a 250 preview show at some point here this week, at least where I talk about the guys there. We are not prepared for that right now. It's been a crazy day. I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off. But let's talk Tampa 450s.
Is Brock Tickle in?
Yes.
What's he riding?
Supposedly, it's not confirmed, but a JGR thing. It's not confirmed, except I listened to a whole podcast with Chisholm talking about how him and Chiz were going to do something, and he can't because he's going with JGR now.
Oh.
But it's not confirmed yet.
Okay.
So he's going to ride a JGR bike.
Okay. Yeah. Where do you see him at? Making a main, obviously.
In the main, 12 to 14.
Reed doesn't make the main now because of another guy.
Reed, A-Ray.
I mean, A-Ray's faster than Reed now.
Okay, yeah. So basically you're gonna bump like
Chad
Reed.
Reed just better do his ride around opening ceremonies and call it.
Probably.
Because he was complaining about the bike last night, all that kind of stuff. So, whatever. Who am I going with? 450 class. I think Webb's gonna do 2 in a row. I think the confidence is
I think
there.
he's gonna back it up.
I think he backs it up just like he did last year. He got 1 win in, he backed it up, and just kind of started stringing things together. I think you're going to see a surprise ride, and you're going to see Tampa Hill.
Ah, okay.
I think Tampa Hill will come out. That's my hot take. 250 class. I haven't seen the full lineup yet, but we got Hampshire, who can be fast. It's on a new program, new bike. That's going to be interesting. We got Jeremy Martin. Got Sexton with the number 1 plate. I'm going to go Jeremy Martin, man. I think he comes out swinging.
Okay. I am gonna go. We're gonna be different here, which is strange because you and I typically agree on a lot more things than me and Justin.
Yeah.
I am gonna go with Kenny comes back with a fire this week. I'm gonna agree with you though on the Hill thing. I think we are going to see a Hill sighting here.
Tampa Hill's back.
Tampa Hill is going to show up this weekend, I think.
Yeah.
As far as the 250s go, again, we're going East Coast. We're not prepared. So like I said, keep an eye out for a video. I'll film one quickly this week here with kind of everyone and a few thoughts. But anyway, I am actually going to go with Hampshire.
Really? Okay. Florida,
new bike. Heard he's flying.
Okay.
Flying.
I saw a video. It didn't look impressive to me.
I heard he is flying. I'm pretty sure he's the one that Webb's like, yeah, he's gonna win races.
I don't know. We'll see.
Because he's down at Baker's factory with them. So I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So I'm gonna actually go Hampshire because, like I said, I think it's like a hometown race basically for him because we're in Tampa. So I'm gonna go with him.
Who else? Who's on PC?
PC is Marchbanks and Jordan Smith.
Okay. 4th, 5th place guys.
And then Honda, you've got J-Mart, Shimoda, Sexton,
Shimoda.
And who's the other one? There's a 4th. They have 4, which is fucking insane.
I don't think it's 4.
Yeah, there is.
Hunter Lawrence, but he ain't racing.
Oh yeah, he's hurt still. It's supposed to be 4th. There's only 3. It's supposed to be 4. But from what interesting fun fact here. Let's do a Mosman fun fact.
Oh boy.
I heard that Hunter is better at Supercross than Jet, but he cannot. Every time he touches the track for Supercross, he gets hurt.
I heard the opposite, that the whole blockbuster part of that deal, signing the brothers, they were interested more in Jet.
Well, I heard they were interested more in Jet because Jet is, yes, but I heard that Hunter is absolutely an animal at Supercross, but the problem is he's so good that he doesn't hold back and he hits the deck, and then every time he hits the deck, he gets hurt.
Okay.
Whether it's a little one or a big one, he just, for some reason, hits the deck when they do Supercross and breaks. I do too.
I like them.
I do too. And man, I would love to have Hunter start doing Supercross because I want to see those two race and I want to hear them talk shit about each other on the podium. Yeah. So, all right, cool. Well, this has been another episode of the Moto Aftermath Show presented by TLR Coatings and Durango Guitar Works. Thanks for tuning in. We will, like I said, hit an East Coast show here, East Coast 250s later this week. Yeah, it won't be a long one. It'll probably just be me by myself. I'll just be talking up what I can come up with that. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below with your thoughts on all the action from this weekend and against what we have said here, who you think will win next week in Tampa, etc., etc. And we will be back next week after Tampa to wrap up East Coast stuff for the first round, and hopefully Justin will be back at that point.
So Justin's actually in Florida. Is he sticking around for the race?
He is in. No. He'll be
is
back.
he getting married? Is he proposing?
We're not really sure. But he better.
We did find out he is with a woman.
He better show up with some tacos.
Some topics?
Tacos.
Or confidence?
Tacos. Oh. Like a taco 12-pack.
Something. Better show up with something. He's been leaving us dry for a while.
High and dry for a while. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. We will see everybody next week after Tampa.